And we're back here at the Inflection Point Alchemy bonus video courses, and I'm your host Dkope, and I'm just super happy and excited to be here today to start sharing with you these bonus video lessons. So let's get right into it. It is April 26th, and it's about 10:30 in the morning. So I'm just going to take you through some trades that I was considering today. And so I'm in the simulator right now, and we're just going to look at these two positions right here because they're both up a couple thousand. So we're just going to look on FinViz right here. So I was looking at Boeing earlier, but I'm just gonna type in INCY. Okay, so I'm not exactly sure when I opened this position, but the mark was 62. So, the trade price was 81. So if I look back here, you can see I probably shorted it right around here at this breakdown of the 81 level. And, it's up a couple $1,000s. It wasn't that large of a position. I think it was a $10,000 position. So I'm just gonna close this out to lock in these profits. And because I shorted 100 shares, I just have to right click and go on create closing order, and then I'm going to buy 100 shares of INCY at the market price, and I'll confirm and send. So it wasn't that big of a position at all. It was a $6,000 position. When I opened it, it was probably closer to 8,000, because it was up about 2,000. So Mara, this is a stock that I had been following. It's part. I believe it's related to cryptocurrency. Yeah, here it is. So here's all the news right here. So there was a little bounce in Bitcoin, and this also bounced. If we zoom into the 15-minute chart, we can see at the beginning of the week it was 140, and now it's 180. So that's a pretty big move. It's up $2,400. I'm just going to go ahead and close this position at the market because I wanted to fill right now. So 177. Okay, perfect. So we're back to no positions today. And I'm just going to walk through a couple of the trades I saw today. Okay, so OIS, this consolidated at about 36, and now it's moving higher toward 37. But it could be a little extended now. It does kind of look like this may have been a inflection point with a confirmation up candle right here. So that was one we were watching earlier today. AZPN. Same pattern, just hasn't broke out yet, it looks like. So we're waiting on that. In fact, it's pretty tight right now. The range is pretty tight, that AZPN. Just go ahead and make a trade on that. So if we go to the trade tab and active trader, we're going to type in AZPN. Aspen Technologies, that's the one. And we're actually just going to buy 100 shares right now. And let's just make sure that that's 9,000. Okay, yeah. So about 10% position sizing. Not getting too crazy today because it's already had a big move. AAOI, we were watching that for a reversal here at 24, and it looks like a nice head and shoulders pattern, so it might continue to move higher in the next months. This is the daily chart. So Chipotle Mexican Grill. We were watching this earlier. Ran from 390 to 410, and it looks like it's continuing to go higher. Well, we were watching this on the breakdown. I actually was looking to short well earlier today. I don't know if there's. It depends on the broker whether there's shares to short. I just want to figure out if they even have shares to short at the. So TD Ameritrade doesn't have shares to short. But I'm gonna log into. That's right. I actually placed an option spread on it was a put spread, so I bought the $50 puts, which is the right to sell 100 shares at $50, and I sold the rights to sell the shares at $45 a share, and these are May expiration options, so they'll expire next month. But that's a way the spread trades are a way to capture time value and also price movement. It's a really strategic way to make money in the stock market. So, if you're bored one day, just look up option spreads, synthetic spreads. There's bear spreads and there's bull spreads. So if you think a stock is going up, you can buy a bull spread, or if you think a stock is going down, you could buy a bear spread. And it's a way to collect extra time value and lower your overall risk and increase your gains. So let's see. I was looking at a few other stocks. So Dare has had big news yesterday, and I made a trade on Dare yesterday. I think I was in at 120 and out at about 130. So it wasn't a huge percentage gainer because I didn't catch it early enough. But it still looks good. The volume is 4.8 right now, but let's just refresh that because 6.5. This was from like an hour ago. So 2.5 million shares were traded in the last hour. So if I wanted to buy Dare, usually you can always buy shares. It's just depending on the broker, you might not be able to short the shares because they have to have them on hand on the brokerage. So Dare, it was trading at about $1. So wanted to go with the 10% position sizing, and let me just confirm yet. So 12,000, close enough. Remember, this is a simulator. This isn't real money. So let's see here. Just bought Dare, right? I think. I'm not sure if there was a confirmation. So yeah, I go over here at Dare. It executed at 125. So that's good because that's right exactly where it's at right now. Mara, we just closed this position. It still looks really good. It looks like people are buying up the dips here as it gets close to the lower Bollinger Band. RNN, we were looking at this earlier, but it just it still looks good. The daily chart doesn't look all that good though, and it's not huge news presenting clinical data, but so we're just gonna exit out of that. Sam, we were watching Sam earlier for breakout. Looks like they had a pretty good earnings report. Boston Beer Company reports first increase in shipment in over a year, so that's pretty good news. And if we zoom out to the daily chart, it certainly looks like a breakout pattern, and it was in an uptrend, and now it's just completely broken out. ARQL, this is a position I'm holding right now. I like it. I like the trade. Low volume today. Nothing jumps out today as being a good day to buy this, but it has consolidated to a pretty tight range here, so it may not be a bad entry. It's sitting well above a 50-day moving average that's trending higher. This angle here is pretty steep, and it got pretty far away from it. 320 up here is the high, so that would be my target if I was going to trade today. And this may be a good time to go into tips trade template. So ARQL, and it was about at 283. So a 10% target is 311, and 5% stop would be 269. So let's just see if that makes sense on this chart. So ARQL. So I would want a little wider stop, maybe below this last low here, 250. Maybe about the 250 mark. So if I go into the trade template and I want to make my stop wider, 10% is 255. So what I could do is try and get a better pricing on the entry, and maybe I could get in at 275. Maybe it'll dip to that today. It's not too far off from what it is right now. It's only a couple percent. So a 10% target from 275. Actually, it would have to be a 20% target. If our stop is 10, we want our target to be, at least 2 times our stop. Now, sometimes you can kind of just tell when moves are getting exhausted. I would still want to pull the trigger right around this 320 range, but it's not looking like the best trade, and sometimes the best trade is just no trade at all. So we're watching this. It doesn't look like a bad trade. I'm already in it, so I already made this risk reward. So today is obviously not back in March, but so it's 4/26 today. Let's just make sure we have the date right here, and actually, so we're in the simulator. We're trading more with 100,000. So just for practice, I'm going to put in this ARQL trade, and I'm going to use this as a limit order. So trade ARQL. It's important that we find the ticker here and click on it. Otherwise, it's not gonna let us register. So in the template, it was about 3,000 shares to buy, and here is where we're going to put in a limit order. And you can see the price right now is 283, but we're going to put in 275 and just confirm and send. And see, it's about $10,000. If I wanted it to be exact, I'd go back to the template here, 3636. So 3636 and buy market. And then, but I would have to switch to the limit order again. 275 and confirm send. There you go. There's the 10,000. So confirm and send. And that order is not going to execute right away. It's not going to execute right away because the price limit has to be 275. So if it never dips to below 275, which is, right down here, you could see it today, then I will never enter this position. And that's kind of a stance that you need to make in the market, because it's so easy to get nickeled and dimed and forget that all these percentages matter. once that trade gets executed and you're filled at that price, there's no going back from there. It's like shooting a gun. You're never going to get that bullet back. So it's very important that you know what you're doing the entire time when you're placing these trades. So we're going to come and check back on this in a little bit. Our last check might have been a few weeks ago with these NC and Mara positions, but we're gonna come back and check this as soon as we see big movers. So up 20% on the year in the simulator is not a bad start. It's we're barely into the second quarter here, so could be 100% year if I get in here a little more often and do these training courses. One other thing that I wanted to point out is I send out these market updates. Just like EBO. So this was sent 4 days ago. 4 days ago. So you definitely want to go on to theinflectionpt.com and just wait for the pop-up to come up and subscribe there, because then I'll automatically add you to our outgoing mail list. And if I don't, just send me an email to info@theinflectionpt.com and I'll make sure you get on these lists, because look, I highlighted four stocks here, and EBO has just been a pretty big gainer this week, and it's still looking good. So if I was placing any trades today, it would probably be EBO, or it's probably eBio. I'm saying EBO. So it's up 59% on the week. You can see when I sent the email out on April 23rd, it was at 188, and now it's at 251. So if we just did some quick calculations here for eBio, and let's say we had that 170 entry at the beginning of the week, so 250, that's a pretty much a 50% target, 255. So a 10% position size, that would be 5% for the week. So that would be a pretty good week if you hit that trade. But normally my targets don't get a lot higher than 30%. Although there are some cases where I go lower on the position sizing and increase my risk. So there's a couple ways to increase or decrease risk, and this is really important to understand the position sizing and the targets and the stops. So that's basically all I had for today. Let me get an EBO because I'm going to forget about it. Or eBio. So you definitely want to check. That's it for today, and hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks.